doing a crime procedural that has big stakes and big moments and big fun.
Got him!
What we're doing differently is we are telling as many character stories as we can cram into an episode.
It's it!
Put your hands up!
Did you punch him in the nose?
A little.
This is not the first NCIS ever made. And if we were going to do a show, what were we going to do to make it unique and not just another spinoff?
The search for the cast was a very fun experience. It was a daunting process because we knew the weight that each of these characters had to hold.
When we started talking about the show, from the very beginning, we were going to have a female lead. And what we wanted to have in that role is we wanted somebody who could be strong and confident, be a team leader, but not feel like she was simply replicating what a man would do in the same situation.
Excuse me, Captain.
Can't move anything. This is a crime scene. Jane Tennant, Special Agent in Charge, NCIS Hawai'i.
Finding Vanessa, though, it was so easy at the end of the day because we had a lot of people reading for it. A lot of people wanted this role. But when we saw Vanessa Lachey's audition, Chris, Jan, and I sort of, metaphorically looked at each other because we were in different parts and on Zoom, and we knew this is it. She's the one.
Let's ride.
To be the first lead of the NCIS franchise and to be the first woman SAC, the first woman special agent in charge on television, I think is not only important to me, but important just for our culture, because there are women SACs in the military and it just was never on TV. It's something that we would like to make more mainstream. It's not so much about saying, hey, I am a woman, hear me roar. It's just saying, I am a woman and I can also do that and do that and am doing that. And so for me, it's important to normalize it and to see that, yes, I can be a mother of two, but I can still kick ass and I can still take down the bad guys. Alex!
Got everything. Let's go.
Everything?
What?
Shoes. And it also shows the balance between the work life and the home life. And what I love is the perspective of my character's home life being a single mother of two, a 10-year-old girl and a teenage son, and also still managing my team of agents as well as, just being a human.
Not only did she present herself on screen as a leader, we have her as a special agent in charge, which is, she's got 40 agents working for her, this character. She presented herself as a leader on screen, but off screen as a leader of the cast and the crew and of our show. She's kind, she's thoughtful, she cares about everyone, she wants to do a great job, she wants everyone to do a great job, and she is one of the main reasons why we have such a successful show and a happy cast and crew.
I got over 50 resumes for your job. Interviewed a dozen highly capable candidates, including you. Getting arrested 2 weeks in makes me question my judgment.
When we saw Alex Terrence Reed as Kai, it was immediate. We knew we had to get this guy. Now, he was off in Mordor, shooting Lord of the Rings, and we're like, how are we gonna get this guy to the island?
Alex was a find. There was no question, everyone knew it. This is the guy, that was that. And the only problem was he was a series regular on another show that was gonna conflict with our dates. Through much negotiation and a lot of mixing our schedule around and sort of shooting out of order scenes for the first several episodes, we were able to wait for him and bring him on.
Kai Holman, born in Waimanalo, still holds the record for the most strikeouts in the Interscholastic League. Former Marine, including 3 years CID before joining NCIS.
The character that I play, his name is Kai Holman. He is a former Marine. He comes back to the island to take care of his ailing father. Yeah, their relationship is a little bit rocky, so there's a bit of story to pull out from there. Yeah, he joins the team. He's the local, born and bred Hawaiian, which is a tricky one for me because I'm obviously from New Zealand. I don't have the accent, but our cultures are fairly similar.
It's hard being back, right? Facing what might be easier to forget.
It's all right. I mean, I can't change the past, but I can't help Brad with his next step. With this new spin-off series, you get the best parts of NCIS, which is the crime solving and the fighting. But it's in such a beautiful location. It's nice and warm here. There's sea, there's surf, and yeah, it's a nice combination of everything. You know, sometimes I think I should have spent my childhood surfing less and watching TV more.
Really?
Nope.
So my character is Lucy Tara, and she is a very overachieving perfectionist. And she looks up to Vanessa's character, Jane Tennant, wants to be like her, wants to do everything like her. She's definitely the go-getter. She can be scrappy.
Yaz coming in as Lucy, and from the word go, Yaz brought in this sort of innocence and optimism and this perkiness to the character, and has shown herself to be so good with the humor, so great with the action, and certainly with these, you know, emotional scenes between her and Whistler.
Look, I just think we need to keep things compartmented. I don't know, secret. Just for now, at least.
Is this about the phone call you just had?
We're storytellers, and we want to reflect back to an audience the world, certainly glossy a little bit because it's NCIS Hawai'i, but the world as we see it and the world that exists. So this relationship between Lucy and Whistler was something that was very important to us in the pilot. That being said, we had no idea how this relationship would blossom.
You don't know things about me because you don't ask.
I know you like Pinot Grigio and mason jars for cups.
There have certainly been gay relationships on TV, but it has not been a thing that has been particularly prominent in procedural television. And so we talked about it, and as we talked about it, we were like, well, if we're gonna do it, we're really gonna do it. We're not just gonna have a character who says that they are gay or lesbian and then never have them have a real life.
I think that's what drew me to the project, was the fact that the women on this show were all so different and so strong in their own unique way. It's really exciting to be able to dive into those roles.
Have a good day, Ernie.
You have a good day, Whistler. So, forms?
Yeah, yes, lots of forms.
Well, it must be some pretty good forms, the way they make you glow.
Jason had this extra quality that couldn't be denied. He's so talented, he's so funny. And what was amazing about Jason, because this character, this kind of character, we've seen them in every single procedural since procedurals began. Sort of weird, wacky, quirky, geeky, tech expert / forensic expert, whatever you want. This guy's a tech expert. But what Jason brought that was unique and unexpected was a confidence to the character.
You able to activate it?
Yes.
My character, I play Ernie Malik. I am the cyber specialist of the team at NCIS Pearl Harbor, and I am the guy who's flipping digits. I am hacking into your phone. I'm hacking into computers. I'm finding the villain for the team. I am finding the whereabouts they are on the island. I have no family here on the island, so I basically insert myself into the other characters' family and personal lives, cooking with them, teaching their kids how to hack. So it should be an interesting journey for Ernie in the season.
Ernie and I like getting weird with compounds.
Ew.
I just appreciate the sciences.
It's gonna be board shorts, Hawaiian shorts, and flip-flops, so that's my favorite thing about the character. I'm gonna be the most comfortable actor on the set, and they hate me for it, especially when it starts to, apparently it gets really hotter in July and August, so that's one of the aspects right now, so I'm sure it'll be other things, but right now it's the costumes.
Hey, shove over for a second.
What? It's like bumping Kirk out of the captain's chair.
Yeah, come on, you're hardly Kirk.
What, you suggesting that you run the Enterprise?
Okay, you can both be Kirk if someone can connect these two men.
Noah's the strong #2 leading man-looking guy. There were certainly a lot of folks who were brought to our attention, but we were looking for something that popped for us. And Noah brought this enthusiasm.
You ever tried any like truly authentic Japanese food?
Do sake bombs count?
Japanese don't do them. It's not food, so no.
My character is Jesse Boone, a former DC homicide detective. Came out here with my family and my 3 kids and wife, and I've been with Tennant longest out of the other team members. And yeah, we're just out here, solving crimes on the island.
He finds really wonderful spins on things, and he is really funny. He's got a real charisma and physicality to it, which is great. Not what we expected, and better than what we could have hoped.
Time to show him that it's go muscle, not show muscle.
How are you this jaunty?
Oh, it's not because I ate all of Ernie's chocolate espresso beans, because I didn't. Not all of them.
Careful, Luce. I will blackmail you into doing the rest of my security interviews. Didn't know anybody on the cast, so that's part of the beauty of TV and filmmaking is you're thrown together and you hope it works, and for sure it worked here. I think in part because of the island, in part we were coming from, one New Zealand, one Texas, a couple California, landed here, all excited, all grateful to have the job, and all really wanting to come out with something that feels elevated.
It's interesting because when this cast came together as a very diverse cast, they almost became representative of the diversity of Hawaii. I mean, the majority of people in Hawaii are mixed or typically minorities in other parts of the country. Having a diverse cast in Hawaii, I think is nice because it represents the overall population there.
Hawaii is definitely one of the main characters. I mean, look behind me. These beautiful elements. We have what people know about Hawaii and the beaches and the sand and the beachgoers, but then there's so much culture and diversity and heritage deep down in the island.
We knew from the beginning, and I mean the very beginning of the process, when we even first started pitching this idea, that Hawaii is unique. It's got its own culture, it's got its own, literally it's got its own language, but I also mean figuratively. It is this very special place that if you go in there with humility and with openness and kindness and respect, that it will open up to you, which has been our experience. The welcome that this show has had here on Hawaii has been unbelievable. We are all so excited and so grateful to have this idea that came up from me and Jan saying, hey, I wonder if anyone would be interested in an NCIS Hawai'i to this. It's been an amazing first half of the day, but it's been an amazing journey all the way around. And everyone here is such a huge part of that. We're so grateful to be guests here in Hawaii and to do a show that celebrates not just the franchise, but the island itself, doing justice to both.
Peace be with you, peace be with you all. Not my peace, but the peace of divine, the divinity of this place and of our spirits. That you be protected, you be guided, you be safe, but more so not just while you're here, but when you return to the places where your ohana may be, yeah? O kamaluhia no me oi ku maluhia pauloa. Kamaluhia o ka iu au no kamaluhia. Kamaluhia no na wa pau no ki wa mau maulo aku. Hawi aku au I ku maluhia ia oi. Waiho aku au I ku maluhia me oi. Haole kamaluhia aka. Kamaluhia vale no. Kamaluhia ko ka I. I mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And aloha. Pai ka lima.
Well, right now we're at Mogalea Beach. We are shooting scene 1 on day 1 of the pilot. I've never ever been in that situation before in my life. So to do that on NCIS Hawaii is a real luxury. You know, it's a love letter for me to the Navy, and it's a love letter to the people in the islands of Hawaii.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about shooting here is that you actually get to use all the landscape and the history of the people and the culture, and it becomes the biggest component, I think, of the show. And I think what's so great about what we're doing here is we really want to put that at the forefront and make it be a character and honor it.
It is such a big show in some of the plot lines. I mean, there's planes and Pearl Harbor and surfing and the ocean, but like that is life out here. So I think it just lends itself
Hawaii, the Hawaiian people, the culture, the military, it just lends itself for these big premises, but very true and grounded premises, which is, I think, is good TV.
We literally have this other character of the island of Hawaii at our disposal, and the people here are there's a spirit to them, the crew, that you feel, I think, on camera, and that's why other shows like Hawaii Five-0 and Magnum PI, why they're so successful here, because there's something about it that just comes off on screen. And we're lucky that they have welcomed us with open arms, and we're diving into it.
And we're set. Ready, and action.
TNT, huh? Tennant and Torres.
What is the biggest challenge of shooting on the island? You would think that it could be access to space, or the challenge of, can you get as high a quality talent pool or a high quality product at the end of it? Honestly, to me, the only challenge that we experience is having, if we want to ship something that's not on the island, we have to ship it over. Crew is so talented. All the local people there are so good at their jobs, and they are such a family. They really are an ohana.
And action.
NCIS Hawaii is the easiest show I've written for, and also the hardest show I've written for. It's the easiest because our cast is so wonderful, and that writing those scenes are so effortless. I say it's also the hardest show to write because I care so deeply about representing the culture, about representing the island well, about representing the military well, being authentic to all those things. I feel a great responsibility to try to do that respectfully and also do it in a way that feels real.
Camera
We're trying really hard to do a crime procedural with a really strong character element to it. And I think it's those character stories as much as the Hawaiian element that makes this show different than some of the other procedural television shows, whether they were set in Hawaii or were set someplace else.
I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more thrilled, not just for the satisfaction for myself, but to see how they've taken it on. And by they, I mean the crew, the cast, the writers, post-production, everyone has taken it on. It is theirs. We share this thing. And to see that reflected back at me was an incredible gift, and I'm truly grateful. All of our designers, when we brought them in, this is the idea. We were going to go in, we were going to learn, we were going to show respect, and we were going to make something special so that we could share, of course, the beautiful sort of postcard vision of what Hawaii is, that everyone who wants to go on a trip to Hawaii thinks about, but also show more of Hawaii, reveal it, and make it very much, and I know this is a cliche, but it stands, character in our story. And that's how every creative on the show and every member of the crew who wasn't from there treated it and continues to treat it. That's the goal.
I have found the same sort of production challenges day to day exist as would on the mainland, but unique to the islands, just construction materials and props that we don't have on the island. And so we have to build in a little lead time to get that.
Here we go, and action!
There's a process there that you have to adapt to, being out on an island like this. And when it comes to, set dressing and wardrobe and stuff like that, we do have to import from the mainland. And that's, called planning ahead, because as you know, everything has to come out on a boat or on a plane. We're in Honolulu, Oahu, and it's really an amazing neighborhood. It's next to Diamond Head, and it's been here quite a few years. It's the original home of the original Hawaii Five-0. So it has a lot of history. One of the main stages we shoot on, you can just feel the aura, if you will, of its time past. So it's got quite a history.
The idea behind the space is we wanted to keep the history of Pearl Harbor, but bring in, a new contemporary design. So we sort of melted the two. It's loosely based on Building 1, which is the oldest building in Pearl Harbor. Kept, the old sash windows and kept the deco tile in the front hallway and kept the herringbone floor that was original to the building, but yet brought in this industrial design.
This everything we recovered from Bigalona's safe house?
Hard drive smashed, files and photos burnt.
Just the kind of puzzle that gets my circulation going.
I've learned a lot coming here, and it's been episode by episode. There are a lot of different cultures. I actually have a friend back in Brooklyn who grew up in Oahu, so I spent 2 hours with him on a Zoom call with a map of him going through all of Oahu, the history of the island. And then part of that has been learning it episode by episode, and also from my crew members and talking to them and, seeing what their different lives are about. A lot of the stuff for the permanent sets, we had to bring in on a container, which is what we usually do. We had 2 container, 40-foot containers full of office furniture and other general set dressing come in from the mainland. We buy a lot of items on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist. There are a few furniture stores here that tend to carry stock, amazingly enough, so we're able to get some stuff quickly. There's a lot of logistics and a lot of moving stuff.
Hello. Door was open.
You made it.
The inspiration for creating Jane's home came from her Filipina background. It also came from her life on Hawaii, bringing Hawaii into her home, and also showing the kids' presence in the home.
Hey, Alex, give me the marble polish.
We have marble polish?
I'm really happy with it. Every time I see the NCIS bullpen, it's great. I mean, it was an ambitious build. It was an ambitious dress. And it all came together literally at the last minute. They're rolling and we're putting in the last of the files into the file racks here in the bullpen. It was that down to the wire. And it's been great. I think it looks great. I'm really happy with it. All of the sets look great. There's no way I would have been able to do this without the crew I have. They are talented and they get it done, and they all have a wonderful work ethic, and they've been welcoming. It's been like such a pleasure working with them.
I don't know if it's the most difficult by any means, but it is definitely one of the most rewarding shows I've been on.
Hi, my name is Luke Reichley. I'm the costume designer on NCIS Hawai'i, and you are in our incoming room. This is where all the costumes that we bring in from various stores, both in Hawaii and Los Angeles, come in, are sorted and tagged, and then from there go into fittings, and then come out of fittings, and then go into returns. In the first few episodes of a show, you're sifting through what the looks are and what people are responding to, and what our creative producers, Chris and Jen and Matt, are looking for in these characters, and so it's a matter of finding them and finding them with the actors, because the costumes are very important to them, because they really find, in many ways, their character in the fitting room.
Oh, pajama day? I wish.
So a lot of Jane Tennant's clothes are based on a few things. One, that she's the first woman to lead an NCIS, and we were very careful about how we wanted to present her, and also to present Hawaii, because we're doing both things at once. We kept her clothes really clean and professional, and her clothes are very tailored and very strong, and really strong silhouettes, but we soften them too with different kinds of patterns and fabrications. So we keep it both ways. And then we also get the benefit of seeing her at home with her kids. So we get to see an at-home and softer look there as well.
4-H weekend?
No, cleaning campsites at Bellas Field. Here.
Jesse, it's my day, remember?
Each of the guys has their own kind of look and take. So Jesse, for instance, his thing is based on that he's an outdoorsman and a 4-H leader for their outdoor project. So we would get clothes from hiking and outdoors companies for Jesse. A lot of his shoes are hiking boots, or hiker trainers, kind of a hybrid. So that's where his kind of look started.
I didn't peg you for an antiquer.
Advantage of being the new guy. I'm a man of mystery.
Alex Tennant, who plays Kai, has returned to the island after being away. He was in the Marines, and he's come back. His family's here. And so there's a combination of clothing from off-island looks, from very sort of clean, athletic silhouettes, to more island-feeling prints and fabrications.
Wow. You look
like Texas Cinderella.
What we never knew about Lucy was that she comes from a wealthy family. Her clothing is a kind of first in, last out idea. You know, she's very tough. In fact, we find on the first, 6 or so episodes that she might be the toughest one of them all, of the entire crew, and she is also the smallest. We wanted to very much establish her strength and her kind of physical dominance, even though she's 5'2".
You look good. Still lifting?
no.
He's being modest, isn't he? He's definitely working out.
Modest isn't a word that comes to mind.
I designed a lot of Ernie's t-shirts and the graphics for them. And I was told at the beginning that I could only have pattern on one garment. So if he was wearing 3, I had to pick. And so his stuff is a lot of combination, and there we really kind of go a little more outside the norm. He's not your typical NCIS agent, in a way. He has his own wardrobe, own look, and own dynamic. And one of the things we wanted to modulate with all of the wardrobe for our principals is to not go overboard with the aloha shirts, the aloha patterns. And so while all of his clothes have kind of that feeling of the island, they're not floral prints. We do a lot of prints with him, but his is more of a look that's based in island culture, but really simple and really strong. The style of Hawaiian dressing is really important for us, from the writers on down, from the dialogue and the scenes and the costumes, to be authentic. We don't want to come in and be an artistic colonializing force on the island. So I really depend on my crew, my local crew here. And we have a lot of conversations about what genre and milieu that we are showing and how to get it right.
Well, nice scrap, Howley.
Hey, I'm trying to catch some waves. It's all good, man. Aloha.
We did in episode 3 a scene with our Melania boys, which was a gang. And they were sort of based on how people dress on the West Side. And so we had a lot of conversations about what it is they actually wear. And we have people who grew up in various parts of the island working with us. So it's a real benefit for us to have that input and be able to show authentic representations of the island. So in this room, we have surrounding the walls all of the principal costumes, the costumes for our main 6 lead characters. So here we have Lucy, Ernie, Whistler, Alex and Julie are over here. Vanessa plays Jane Tennant, has that whole back wall. And then we have Kai and Jesse. And it's all laid out in terms of silhouettes, different types of clothing, and also multiples on how many we have, because we are often in situations where we have to double, triple, or quadruple their clothes, depending on if they're having a stunt or not in the episode. So welcome to the barn at NCIS Hawaii. This is where we keep all of our stock, and the aisle you're in now is our military uniform stock. 30 e-crates of military uniforms came from NCIS New Orleans at the beginning of the show and contributed to the stock you see. Some of the stock in the barn is from Hawaii Five-0 and from other CBS shows.
Where are all those people?
Your colleagues.
Oh, yeah, right.
Every single garment you see on the screen has been picked by us or made by us. Today in our casino scene, all of the extras came through and we checked clothes that they brought and then gave them clothes that we wanted to see to create the kind of image and the kind of compositions we wanted in the scene. I think we probably gave out half of the clothes that you're going to see on the extras on camera. Our show is big. It's a big show, and there's a lot of action. And I even said to Jan Nash, our producer, at the beginning that this show is deceptively not simple, that there are a lot of layers going on. There's a lot of things to promote and progress through the arc of the characters and the arc of the show itself. So I love this work and I love the actors. We are so blessed to have the cast that we have that's really amazing to work with. But it's every day is a magical adventure because it's a very, very busy show. It's a very busy show, and pretty much every 10 days we make a movie. So thank you for coming and visiting the costume department. You know, it's really nice that you guys understand what it is we do and the contribution that we make to the show, and also that it's more than just shopping.
Common sticks, y'all. Today. Welcome to NCIS Hawai'i.
Looks like the same team pulling off an exact.
Wait, it's not funny, Jason. It's not funny. We're working tomorrow. And Yahtzee. I'm gonna get it. Don't cut.
Just making sure the smoke was ready.
Hi, Kai.
Hey, we're here together. Yeah. Resources are limited. That was a great one. You used to be a mandatory reporter, too.
Yeah, all right, we'll keep an eye out for him.
I bet I know what'll scare him more.
You know, considering the bomb probably took out the security system, it's just.
It's too.
Going down a Ho'olua rabbit hole?
Ready? Say I'm fancy.
Action.
No, not action. Say.
And got it?
Good. And that's a wrap on NCIS Hawai'i.